Welcome to the first Dungeons of Sighard state of the game. Basically, what we have here is an entire game built in Minecraft, completely coded with all sorts of different things that make the game a game. For example, if we were to show you this thing here, this is the Wizard's Tower, which basically allows you to get spells and enable things. If you jump into the middle, you get thrown up. Then you get teleported to the side, and then you can go to this guy. This guy is the wizard, and if you right click him, you can enter his trades. He has multiple different kinds of spells. If you are in and you have enough money, you can purchase these spells. And with this fully functioning magic system that we have, you have all kinds of different spells. We only got 5 at the moment. The first spell I will show you is called Fireball. You right click to use it, left click to fire. It does a surprising amount of damage, and also has a blast radius to knock back enemies. This is the lightning spell. Right click and you can shock enemies, doing a lesser amount of damage for a lesser amount of mana. This regeneration spell, when used, heals you to max health when you're on 1 heart, but it takes up more mana. This is Mana Wall. When placed, it allows you to block enemies in their position and block arrows. This is Frostbolt. Allows you to freeze enemies in place, turning off their AI, allowing you to have a bit of time to run away, or to kill them whilst they're frozen. The state of the game also includes this guy here. This is the Nitwit. Allows you to trade up and down your currencies, from copper to iron, iron to gold, gold to diamond, and everything vice versa. This is the Weaponsmith. Right clicking his eyes, you'll be able to go into all of these. There's all sorts of weapons that you can get, and it's also where you get your first weapons, the wooden sword and the wooden axe. We have the slime fields. Over in this direction, we have our armorer. This is the armorer. Basically, he's got all the copper armor, the iron armor, the diamond armor. You may be wondering where you get netherite armor. Netherite armor is unfortunately a thing that's not added in yet. There's no actual way to acquire it, but that is coming in later on. In this covert, we have the potion seller. The potion seller allows you to recycle glass bottles for free copper, as well as get different potions from this man. He has health potions, iron skin, wolfram skin. We have swiftness, and we have Buller's elixir, which gives you strength. In here is the guild hall, and in the guild hall we have a few NPCs. We've got the butcher, which allows you to get all of your remains and trade them up for copper. If you have 10 of one, you can get more from the stack. You can also sell everything up to the mana enriched remains, which allows you to get a lot of money. Down here you have the maid. The maid is basically someone that allows you to get whatever you need for food. You have bread, chicken, steaks, which you can buy from her, but if you so want to, you can also buy ale. Don't worry about it. If you also have raw food, you can cook it here for absolutely free. Up here you have the brothers. This guy here allows you to trade weapons, and using these weapons you can get money for it. If you have any leftover weapons, you can send them here no matter their durability to get some of your money back. This here is the guy who does all of your armor sales. If you get armor from any mobs or chests, you can go here to sell it for free money. The forest is another thing that exists. Basically, in the forest you can find all sorts of animals that you may find to be able to kill. So you have an assortment of chickens, pigs, cows, and sheep. Spawn in here. Wolves can also spawn, and you will be able to use the bones you get from skeletons to be able to tame them. Down in this section here, you have a secret room which you can find. In here you may find this chest. In this chest, you can find something called a mana star. I've already activated it. What it does is it gives you extra mana when you're putting it. So if you use it, your mana will go from the base set of 100 to 115. Also, we have Portal. Portal is fully functioning with its own animation. If you go in there, you enter the dungeon. This dungeon is very expansive at about 19 to 21 cells in each direction. It has hallways, twists, turns, T-pieces, all sorts of stuff. We have a bunch of different chambers that you can find, and you have spawner chambers like this one. It spawns enemies, and if you use a spell on them, you can freeze them, and you can also blow them up. They all have custom loot tables that you can get, and you can also use these and it drops free stuff. They can drop food or keys. We also have these staircases, which allow you to go down into the further levels of the dungeon. And if you end up going down, the further down you go, the more difficult it becomes. This entire system is completely dynamic and can go into any chamber, allowing for some crazy generation to happen. These are mana star chambers, allowing you to get these little things, which allow you to increase your mana, as stated before. I will stay in spectator mode for this. This here is called a cursed trial. These things are incredibly difficult and spawn 7 mobs of increased strength, speed, armor, and all sorts of other stuff. They can also spawn with better weapons, better armor. However, this particular one, when you beat it, it drops an absolutely incredible key which you can sometimes get, which allows you to open chests in these ones. These specific ones require ominous keys, which you can only get from cursed chambers. As you may have seen previously, there was a strange thing that happened when we went down. If we go down 1 level, we're staying in the mud layer. If we go down 3 levels into the 3rd layer, we're now in the stone layer. This layer has increased difficulty on mobs, harder generation to navigate, as well as higher chances for more terrible chambers that you have to enter. Go down 2 more, you can enter this layer. This is the deep slate layer, and it is probably one of the more difficult sides, but it does have some absolutely terrible generation, which allows these to spawn right next to staircases. Have fun with that. At the bottom we have the void layer. The void layer is probably one of the most difficult layers in the entire game at this standpoint. Down here, most mobs can insta-kill you in iron armor, unless you have some sort of spell active which allows you to counteract that. Monsters down here are around 4 times stronger than they are on the surface, and they have a higher chance of getting better armor. But down here, chests like this, which is a mythic chest, these spawn a lot more commonly. We also have the boss chamber. At the bottom, there will be an area which allows you to drop down, which allows you to fall into this room. This is not the boss chamber. The boss chamber stands behind these doors which aren't animated or finished yet. You'll be able to get last minute provisions from a seller here, but in here, this is where the boss happens. The doors close behind your party, and there will be a boss that will stand in the middle. Cussing will play and he will attack you. One of 3 bosses can appear,